Hi everyone, welcome back to Situationship, where I am discussing and providing you updates on the Ashlee Jenae's death that occurred on the Zuri Resort, Zanzibar in Tanzania. So I want to focus on one particular thing, despite the fact there are so many stories and so many pieces that are now emerging based on the victim herself. And we are not here to victim blame. I actually do not really care about what Ashlee did for a living. But some are trying to say that she did questionable things for a living. I know that she's one of those video vixen, and she's absolutely perfect for it. That's how she lost the bet when she went to Miami. She became a model, she became a video vixen because she has the body, she has the style, she has the look. She just has that je ne sais quoi. She just has that it factor that makes her who she is. So when a woman of her caliber, of her beauty, of her lifestyle, whenever something like this happens, the judgments are gonna come from the sky, the below, the side. It's gonna come from everywhere, from male, from female, from lovers. Everybody's going to come out of the woodworks because they want to have something to say. And they are, of course, the moral judgments. Of course, you're going to find that with anybody, whether or not you're famous. People are going to judge you for what you didn't do right or what they conceive to be morally wrong. Regardless, I know that this is a woman, based on many of her videos and interviews that she has given over the years, that she was there, not gatekeeping information when it comes to the modeling industry, how she got to Miami, and what she did to make it. This is a woman thriving. It's not that she necessarily would want or need. I always tell a woman, you don't necessarily need a man to thrive. You could thrive on your own. You need a man to complement you. But we're not getting into it. All I'm saying, whenever I give this advice to my girlfriends, and I said, girl, you don't need him. You could do this by yourself. That's essentially what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they are not great partners, but as a need, you need to know, or you need to be in a position where you are meeting your own needs, because when that man is ready to leave, that's why you don't need a man. And with respect to men, and we are going to look at McCann, because he's the one under the radar right now. He's the one on the radar right now. And ladies and gentlemen, let me preface this by saying this is not about a white man. I love all different races of men. And if you know me, you would know the reason why I said that. So it's not about the white man. It's about the caliber, the character, the type of man that you date. He could come. There's a McCann in the black race, the Asian race, the whatever race. There's a me in every race too. So it's not about the race, it's about the caliber, the fundamental values of that man that you're dealing with. And based on the information emerging from Tanzania with respect to this man, it appears that he was a regular visitor at this resort. And looking at the owner of this resort, I looked at his picture. Sometimes, they say that pictures give you energy. There's certain things that is emanating from his aura. Yes, both the owner of the Zuri Zanzibar resort as well as Mr. McCann. There's an aura about this guy. And when I tell you this, I know. Because I've met men with that aura before. So these are the types of men that they are never, ever satisfied. Never. They always want to be constantly on the hunt. It's like they're never satisfied. And these types of men, they often feel trapped when the relationship gets stale. That is why, out of frustration, when they can't get what they want, they often try to unalive you. They make terrible partners. I am profiling amateurly this type of man because, I believe I have come across this type of man in my lifetime. Yes. So, what I'm trying to say is that they would demand more. So you have to immediately establish your boundaries when you meet them. Establish your boundaries in the bedroom as well as outside of it and with your friends. Because these men, they cross boundaries and they make it look like you're hallucinating, that you are somehow insecure. Oh my God, they love to use that word insecure when they can't get their way. They make you look like you're the insecure one when all along your radar, your intuitions, they were right on target. Because you know what? Later on, these intuitions, they have served me well. So, when it comes to Mr. McCann, it has emerged that he often visited Tanzania. Potentially, it appears, this resort because he has many acquaintances there. He even met up with one there. Yeah. They like a crowd because they want to be entertained as a group. Yeah. And they often, they sell you to the other person. They really hype you up. That's what I mean. They hype you up. By selling, I mean they hype you up to the others before you get there. Oh, this is Ashlee. She is fetishization, objectification. So, if you ask me whether or not Ashlee knew about this man, I believe she did. I believe she thought she could handle him. But then, I think he threw her a curveball as well. He proposed to her. But this is where Ashlee went wrong. I would have said to him, reach out to my mom. You see me? At my big age, I still wanted somebody who has great interest in me to reach out to my mom. Because she's the one that was alive. My dad died ages ago. So I get that. Ashlee is still young. This is her first marriage. So she should have established that. She should have made her family a huge part of her life, of this relationship. And as I've said in part 2, she should have done her homework because he had allegedly promised his first wife that she would never walk alone. What is she doing now? With 2 kids in tow. Because it appears that this woman, despite her intelligence, she made the decision not to involve her dad. Perhaps her dad met this person, and men, they could sense each other and know whether or not they're predators. My dad used to say that to me all the time. And he would tell us, or he would tell me, who to keep away from. I miss him. I wish he was around for many of my other relationships. But there are lessons learned, and these are the lessons I'm conveying to the likes of Ashlee out there. Do not ever think you're an exception, no matter how beautiful you are. Because some men, like Mr. McCann and others, may likely look at you as simply a beautiful thing to play with. Let me tell you something. It's not just an engagement. Men who are predatory, who sees your currency, be it your earning potential, which Ashlee had, her beauty, which could open doors for him because he was on a precipice right now. He had no credibility. Ashlee was bringing him attention, and he wanted that attention. She potentially had good credit, which he would definitely capitalize upon as a partner. So, I say this to say that a man, even if he does not have the right intentions, even if he is not in love with you, and he has lots of benefits to gain from you, he would go as far as to marry you. In fact, marrying you would be the ideal situation where this type of man would demonstrate their predatory nature even more. Their evilness. You would see it emerging from them. It doesn't take long because the mask does drop. It does. And I am so gutted. I am so mad. I have a mixture of emotions when it comes to the Ashlee Jenae's case, because I saw exactly what she walked into. And I believe somebody mentioned, one YouTuber mentioned that she had Jamaican background or parents or cousins or whoever. And if she did, I hope that Ashlee gave this man some bumbo. And I know if she did, that would piss him off. Because, you see that word? It has one of the biggest impact. Even me, I don't like it. But in situations like these, in situations like the one I believe Ashlee found herself in, oh my God, she should have hit him with all the bumbo clat. And I am not saying this as someone who you might think is, oh, this is an angry black woman. Oh, she has been jilted. She has been burned. Ha! We have all been jilted in a lot of ways. It's not about me today. It's about Ashlee. So to get back on the Zuri Zanzibar situation, where it is said that the population there comprises mainly of Zazis, I don't even know, old Zadis. They should rename this resort Zadi Zanzibar because of the population that is there. And I could imagine how she felt. I could only imagine when she realized that this man is a frequent flyer, a frequent customer, a freak. And he is literally leaving his newly engaged woman, fiance, to go satisfy his lust. He couldn't wait because he thought that Ashlee's naivete would turn a blind eye to it. Because, you know, culturally, and I blame our culture a lot of the times, but we are not alone. It's not just us in the black culture that turn blind eyes to a lot of the things that the men in our lives do. No. He probably believed that she would turn a blind eye to his shenanigans, and that's a nice word. And they would live happily ever after. And when they're married, Ashlee would be doing her thing. She would be, she would be living her influencer lifestyle. She'll be making the bucks. These are the type of men who would push you to make more money to meet their own demands, their own often greed, their own ulterior motives. When you push back, when you don't decide to dance for them, then you could actually feel the hatred that they start to develop for you. Have you ever walked into a room and you feel an energy that your man doesn't like you, much less love you? You often don't need any other clues than that. Always read your intuitions. Always go with what you feel. They will try to cover your eyes with a wool. They will try to, They would change it around. They would say, no, I'm tired. No, you read me wrong. Oh, yes. They would change the narrative. But it is indeed a lesson learned that I hope that this little profiling of men like him, because you're not supposed to say anything to men like him when they cheat. Or what are you worried about? You are the wife. You are the fiance. I proposed to you. I'm married to you. No, it's innocent. I'm just friendly. No, I did not go down to that other villa to do anything with that woman. I do not know that woman. Oh, she just wanted something and asked me to come help her do it. Oh, you know I am very helpful and I like people to like me. So, I do things for them to be liked. No. Look carefully at what he does. And so for that person, and it doesn't make sense to me that that hotel person, that staff member that came by, saw the place dark and still, when he went in, just left Ashlee there hanging. But on the other hand, sometimes when you're shocked and you don't know what to do and he or she knew Mr. McCann and knew that they probably had seen Mr. McCann around or know him well, the first thing that these people do is to try to protect their reputation and the people that have been giving them patronage over the years, which apparently he was doing when he had the billions of cryptocurrencies. So, self-preservation, reputation is often the first key after the shock. And one may argue that, oh, because I was speculating in my previous video that, okay, she probably really wanted to get his attention. She didn't mean to out herself or off herself, but she told the guy to return and to bring her charger, because that's how the story goes, based on Queen Sheba. She told him, and he was a bit late returning. So why was he a bit late? Maybe he encountered you-know-who. And if he did it, how he got into the villa, again, unnoticed by other staff. Because when you have a disagreement with your man, they often find ways to sneak back and come see you. And they would try to placate you. They would find a way to do that. They would. And he knows the resort inside out, back and forth. He knows how to get in. Because the balcony, it seems, goes all the way around. He knows little areas where he could go past the camera, to get past the camera and find his way back in and surprise Ashlee when she got in there. So while I was speculating that knowing that they were fighting and she's gonna give up her fiance, or they have broken up because of his infidelity on the resort and because of the fact that she just got engaged. She has told all her friends. It's embarrassing. She's failing when it comes to living up to what she's a proponent of. So she may have potentially grabbed the bathroom band, wrap it around, and pretend so that when the guy returns, he would find her and he would probably tell the man so that the man could come back and they would make up and potentially ride off to paradise, to back home. Because don't forget, they had to travel back together. Their seats were probably booked together. So to change that again is just a nightmare. So that was one of my speculations. But don't be fooled. I do not believe it. I do not believe it. It's just a speculation, because I know women do that shit sometimes to get back attention and to make the man feel sorry for them. I know. I've listened to lots of stories. So I do not believe it though. Because you know what? If she did that, she would have left the light on. But I think what was happening is that somebody was in there setting the scene, and they didn't expect the guy to return that quickly, because they probably had other people set up outside to stall him, to give them time to get out. But when he pushed the door, there was some sort of blockage there. And so he wasn't able to immediately get in. That person had time to get out of wherever he came in from, whatever hiding spot, whatever little spot that is known, because him and the boss, they are friends. Allegedly. So that's why I do not believe she offed herself. This profile of this type of man, these type of men, they are always seeking for the next best thing. And I would tell any woman, when you meet this caliber, these type of characters, you would know them by their lustful gaze. You would know them by the things they ask of you in the bedroom. You would know them by the way they behave when you're outside. How they talk about your friends. How they look at your friends. Do they objectify your friends? Do they try to get too close to your friends? Do they start all of a sudden, because you choose them, all of a sudden they may think that they are the prize. And oftentimes, this type of man, they would get so insecure and upset about your development, about your journey. Because at times, people could see your potential. As I mentioned, Ashlee's owning potential is attractive, and it would attract a lot of people who would not only exploit it, push her more into what she's doing and have her cross over that thin line of whatever is there keeping her safe. They would set her up for their own benefit. You would know these type of men when you meet them. There's always a kind of sick, lustful look on their faces. They can't hide it. You would catch them off guard. You would see them with that look on their faces. You would dream about them if you're intuitive of the universe. God, whoever you believe in, would show you who they are. There's often this smirk about them. They think that because they know that their intentions are not the best for you and that they're going to hurt you in the long run, they're always smirking at you. They often look at you and they would probably make statements like, "Oh, you think you know so much." Or they would look at you like, what make you the expert of something? You know, they would look at you knowing that they're going to deliver that blow that would prove to the world that you are not as smart as you think, because they're there to outwit and to outsmart you and to get whatever they could. You would know them. You just need to pay attention. You see, our problem is at times we are too distracted, sometimes with family events or sometimes with work. So whatever, but pay attention to what they do, how they look at you, the comments they make towards you. Even if they know you're damn fabulous, they would still try to humble you. So pay attention to these weak men, because they project themselves to the society as the strong, masculine, confident man. But internally, they're very weak. And many of them are avoidance. If you notice, this man, he doesn't even want to reach out to Ashlee's family. No. Added to the fact that they could be very condescending and proud of it too. they would admit to it. Yes, I'm condescending and I'm proud. Their arrogance, it's oozing from their pores. You would know them. Just pay attention. I hope that with all that is going on with the Ashlee Jenae's case, that not only do women of her kind, because there's another YouTuber that I see online, and I know that she has talked about she's so happy that her mom brought her to America because she could get the white man's money. But I just want her to be careful, because I know she appears to be a bit smarter than Ashlee, but you're never too smart. And there's the kind of man out there that would intentionally come into your life. As I say, they would engage you, they would marry to you, but the ultimate goal is not for your best interests. So I'm going to keep you posted on the Ashlee situation. Right now, there's this issue going on about what the hospital note indicated when they did the ample test, where the husband highlighted that he found, husband said he found her, he found her, but I believe there's a word missing. I believe the word out is missing. I believe that's what, because of language barrier, sometimes you write stuff down, and that's why there's a triple question mark at the end. Husband said he found her hanging, but I believe they were trying to say he found out she was. That's the completion of the sentence. I'm thinking that they were trying to say, but we'll keep you updated on that, because at the end of the day, I believe in the fact that Ashlee was not suicidal, and therefore she did not commit suicide. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you soon.